uppercut. Down goes Martin. Mamma mia! 6, 7. It's like Tank Davis scripts this stuff.
Welcome back to another episode of Chin Checkers. Y'all already know who it is. Let's get that work. Hawkline Bane, you are you. We are here. And somebody didn't disappoint. Somebody didn't disappoint. Whoever, if you're living under a rock, talking about Tank Davis. There was a lot of fights over the weekend, but Tank being the new face of boxing, he's shown and proven he had an exciting fight and finished excitingly.
Yes, and for me being I don't want to say a Tank hater, because that's the wrong word, because I do find him entertaining.
Sure.
But I got criticism, and I'm usually like that with everyone. I'm always very fair. That fucking knockout might have been like a knockout of the year, man, against a quality opponent. And I don't know how many of them he has on his belt, but he continues to do some spectacular shit and pretty much shut me the fuck up. So I throw some flowers towards him.
He did good. You can see his plan in effect, even though it was. I'm not trying to be a hater. Even though it was obvious, it was download some data from round 1 and 2, and then just strategically apply pressure to make Frank overwork. Which I thought that right away. I was just like, Frank is moving too much. He's exerting too much energy, and eventually he's going to slow down. And Tank was putting pressure in a strategic way, and he got the job done. The only thing I didn't understand was why Frank kept going to the rope, just circle around the ring.
Yeah,
I didn't understand.
There's a couple things. I picked Frank Martin to be transparent. I picked Frank Martin to win. Frank is good.
Sure.
I didn't think he was great. And and you said it was a little premature, and I think it was obvious. I felt at some point he had to start standing his ground. And I felt when he did stand his ground, rather than run, he was doing well. And I think maybe somewhere internally, the internal pressure got to him and he just couldn't sustain it. And it was more of a mental breakdown why he was sitting on the ropes. Not so much what Tank did, but more what he lacked. Not that Tank isn't great, not to give him his credit, because what he did was spectacular.
Yeah, no, I'm shaking my head. Yeah, I just think you said a bunch of bullshit. No, I see what you're saying, but honestly, when it comes to Tank being outboxed, I don't consider that being outboxed. He literally was not throwing punches like that. Like, it's a difference when you're trying to hit somebody and somebody's outboxing you. You need them to slow down. You need them to burn some stamina. Tank purposely wasn't throwing that many punches. He didn't start to throw punches until maybe 4, 5, and 6. That's why the first couple of rounds, I wouldn't even say that Tank was being outboxed. Tank was just applying pressure and kind of just seeing what he can or cannot do. I do think Frank's speed.
Stop it.
I do think Frank had good speed and reflexes.
So if you ask Tank, would you have wanted a first round knockout or a second round knockout? You think that he wouldn't have wanted that?
He didn't fish for it.
But that's the point. That's what someone's doing to you, so you can't get it.
I don't think it was outboxed. I don't think he was outboxed, man. I don't think he was outboxed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see where you're trying to come. I just don't see it. Yeah. It's because he didn't throw enough punches. It's a difference when you start throwing punches and you're getting outboxed. He really wasn't throwing that many punches in the first 3 rounds. That's why I don't really consider it outbox. I just thought that was just his game plan.
So
that's just how I looked at it.
But he was getting hit. He got
hit. Sure. He definitely
got hit the most he's ever gotten hit in this fight.
Right.
In this fight. And the other guys that he hasn't fought are one, higher motor in terms of endurance. So they're going to be on their bikes more and move around more, which would make it more difficult, probably more of a boring fight. But I don't even want to get into that. I just want to just praise him a little more because of what he did. And he was getting hit. He was getting hit with a lot of good shots. And he also has a pretty good chin where he gets hit and doesn't even flinch. It doesn't even move or show that he's hurt in any way. The only one time I seen them even remotely buzz was against Barrios with the punch, and then he kind of faked Barrios into attacking him.
Frank did actually catch him with really one good shot where they both kind of hit each other. I think Frank got the better of it.
Yeah.
And then you saw Tank kind of like, tell him like, I ate that.
Yeah.
And like the credit to what you said, yeah, he does have a good chin. He does have a good chin though.
Now with this being done, and man, that was such a fucking amazing knockout, man.
Yeah, my man, if the ropes wasn't there, he was going that way. He was going that way. He was lucky the ropes was there because he fell that way. He fell, on the side. But if the ropes wasn't there, he was gone.
That it was pretty close to like a knockout of the year type shit, man. It was fucking pretty impressive with the uppercut reminiscent of Mike Tyson days.
Right.
Oh man, yeah, boy. I was wrong. Let me give him his credit. I was wrong, and I also am no longer gonna criticize him for boxing. I don't even think I do criticize him for what he does in the ring. It's more what he does outside the ring. But sure. I'm giving him all his credit for a spectacular performance. I just hope that he takes on one of these pound for pound top guys. But what do you want to see from your boy next?
It's only the two fights that everybody's been referring to. If he's going to stay at 135.
Okay.
If he stays at 135. I got you. It's either Loma or Shakur. Those are the only two fights at 135 that I would like to see him in. More so Shakur, because I do feel like he'll beat Loma. You know what I'm saying? So I would go with Shakur just because of Shakur's obvious talent and skill and youth. So that's why I think that fight would be a little more competitive. But at the press conference or the post press conference, somebody asked a similar question saying that, hey, do you think Shakur and you would be a good fight? Because, Shakur runs around. So would it be a good fight? Would it be a boring fight? Not exactly word for word, but something to that effect. And, Tank was just like, I'll get him. Basically, is what he said. I would get him. What happened here would happen. I'll get him.
I'm not sure if that would. And hopefully I can make some of my money back because I lost a little bit.
Wait. So time out. So even after this, you're still doubting Tank?
Yeah, because I think, for one, I think that Lomachenko's great. I think Lomachenko's a Hall of Famer. And I think Lomachenko got enough defense where a lot of those punches that were landing for Tank on a stagnant Frank Martin, that's not going to happen with Loma. Loma's not going to stay stagnant on the ropes.
I'm talking about Shakur.
Even Shakur in a weird way doesn't have the same foot movement that Loma has, but I would give him the edge in speed. I would give him the edge in youthfulness. The only thing is, to me, Shakur may just get on his bike the whole fight and end up losing the decision because no one would give him the fight.
No. Yeah, my man he's getting on his bike. he is not standing in front of him. He is backpedaling the entire fight.
Yeah.
He would have to. And I'm not saying that Shakur doesn't have a chin, because I can't say that because nobody really knows.
No one hit him, yeah.
But I do think if Tank hit him, he'd crack him.
I think if Tank hits anyone, he's so explosive at that weight. He's obviously perfectly formed. No, pause for that weight, but
no Diddy, we got you, bro.
Yeah. But Me personally, I don't want to see him fight Shakur. My dream matchup would be, and it popped up on my YouTube feed as soon as I woke up, the full clip between him and Devin Haney. That's my fight. That's the fight that I want to see.
I mean, I understand that, but if Haney's at 140 and Tank is not going to go to 140, or not yet.
I'm just giving my dream fight. My personal fight, I would want that to happen.
Okay.
Me. That's what I would have. In my opinion, even if you look at the sparring session was highly entertaining. So to me, a fight would have to produce fireworks. We would either see Devin Haney get knocked out and exposed, like what people felt would have happened if they didn't have headgear on, if it was regular rules, smaller gloves, whatever. But I think as you watch more of that sparring session with the whole footage, you start to see that Devin Haney isn't as much of a slouch as the whole world is saying he is. And I can't believe, all right, forget it. I don't want to go into me liking Devin Haney, man. I don't want to go into it. Forget it.
Okay. We just go give Tank his props.
Yeah.
Well deserved. He was in there with a tough guy. You know, he did what he had to do. I thought he was going to win. You know, I didn't give Frank much of a chance just because I just thought he was a little too fresh. I think he needed to be in there with somebody who is a power puncher, or maybe somebody at a higher weight class to kind of, you know, just get a little adjusted to possibly fighting Tank in the future. But he took Tank down, and he did well in the early rounds. But again, I believe he did well just because Tank chose to apply pressure strategically versus to go at it with him from round one.
So what do you think Frank could have did better in terms of game plan? Because
Stay off the goddamn ropes. That's what he could have did better. I guarantee you he could have stayed off the ropes. Now, again, and start with less energy. He had that nervous energy and he was exerting too much, and that type of energy is not sustainable. Honestly, and I'm not hating on Frank. But before the fight even started, I knew he was going to lose. It's usually Jim Gray.
Yes.
So he interviews you for like a minute or two. When he went to Frank's, he asked Frank, how do you feel? How do you feel confident? Blah, 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 something to that effect. And Frank's response was, I'm not trying to, get too excited over the big lights. Once I heard him focusing on not trying to focus on the big lights, however he worded it, I was just like, nah, you out of there, bro.
Perception, like that, you picked up on it, like psychology wise. It's not always just about what happens in the ring. This is his first mega fight.
Right.
Mega. I mean, I'm not sure about ticket sales, but Tank might be the best of the non-heavyweights in terms of ticket sales and Canelo. I think he might be the best one there. He's kind of used to this. He's kind of experienced it. It's hard for someone who's not mentally prepared for war to go in there and feel that. And I kind of agree with you. There was a point where in the fight where they looked at each other after the bell. I think it was after the third round, and Frank got the better of him again. And Tank gave him the look like, I'm in a fight. Now I got to turn it up. And it seemed like he shifted his mentality. And while he upped his level, Frank kind of shrunk mentally. He didn't stand his ground coming out the next rounds. He didn't throw bombs. He kept doing the nervous energy. And also he said in the post-fight, I stood there because I felt like I was trying to get him to open up. You were doing fine. You didn't need him to open up. You could have kept doing what you were doing rather than moving, though, in terms of constant movement, but just stand your ground a little with punches, and it lead to those opportunities. And the fact that he felt that way kind of makes me think that the moment was getting to him too much.
Yeah. I mean, it was a competitive fight, but Frank fell short. And, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Just to conclude, I would say I'm ready to see Tank move up to 140. I don't think there's many people at 140 besides Devin Haney and Lopez. Matias also lost that night. Russell also lost that night. I don't think there's many people at 140 who I want to see him in there with. I don't want to see him in there with Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall, none of those guys. I would rather just see him and Devin Haney at 140 or him and Tio at 140.
Yeah, I would agree. Those are two mega fights if they were to happen.
Yeah.
I think those are possibly the bigger of the fights too. I think he and you're not in agreement with me here. I think if you roll the dice and fight the smaller guys at 135, you're liable to lose to those guys. It's possible you may lose to those two guys rather than move up and have the mega fights with the other two guys. Just my opinion. I think the smaller guys are actually more skilled and move better, have better defense than the guys above them.
No, I don't.
Get the fuck out of here. So you
I think Loma. I think Loma. I think he gets cracked. I think he gets stopped. Actually,
bro,
I think Tank will stop Loma.
It's possible, sure. But Loma and Shakur, to me, are better boxers and move better than both the guys above them.
Again, I think only Shakur would give him a problem just because Shakur is a master at distancing. And then Tank is a little guy that needs to get in close. He's not pretty good. He is a great counter puncher and he has great speed and reflexes. So I think the matchup would be a little difficult to, for each fighter. I think Shakur would be the hardest fight at 135. Yeah. Devin Haney will. So I see what you're saying. Devin Haney will engage Tank. He will, even though he doesn't have the chin, he's going to engage him. I think Tio would engage him until he gets caught with a good shot, and he might start to be on his bicycle too.
Interesting stuff. Where do we go from here, Playboy? What's next? David Benavidez.
I mean, sure, let's get into it. How do you think he looked at 175? He was in there with a tough guy. He dominated him, but you know what I'm saying? He didn't get the stoppage like he wanted, but he was in there with a tough guy. Hit him with some good shots, though.
So I made money off of that fight. I picked David Benavidez to win by decision. The reason I picked that was because David Benavidez is not a big puncher. He's an overwhelming puncher. He hits you with a variety of punches and can wear you down. In terms of just catching you with one shot, it's normally not how he knocks people out. It's more an accumulation of shots. The guy he fought did pretty good back in the day against Benavidez, movement-wise. So I knew it would go to a decision. I knew he wasn't going to stop him. The one thing that I saw, though, he gassed at like the 8th or 9th round, and I'm wondering if that was more due to the overwhelming pressure of all the punches, or was he just not used to the weight?
I mean, people look at him as a weight bully, so I would imagine that it was just the overwhelming pressure, just because even though he is a pressure fighter, and he does start off at a pretty decent pace. It seemed a little extra because I think he wanted to get the knockout to make a statement.
Yeah.
So because when he fought Caleb Plant, he didn't stop Caleb Plant, but he didn't have a stamina issue in that fight. He was actually, doing really good, and Plant looked like he was about to go any minute, but Plant held on because he has pretty good grit. So I don't think David Benavidez has a stamina issue. I don't think so. I just think he did a little too much because he was trying to look impressive. Last question I want to ask. Right now, top 5 pound for pound. What you got? Right on the spot.
Crawford.
This is starting at number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Crawford. Usyk. I think I might have to put Tank in there too.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know the whole list. I'm not looking at everyone right now, but I think I may have to add those two guys to my top.
All right. So right now, as my top 5 pound for pound on Father's Day 2024, I have Crawford, Inoue, Usyk. Fourth, I have Bivol, and for fifth, I have a 3-way tie between Canelo, Benavidez, and Tank.
You could take fucking Canelo off that list. What is wrong with you? Throw that shit out the window. He did. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
He is still a top
No, no, no. I didn't even want to put Inoue that high up on there because I haven't seen him in there with another Hall of Fame guy. So him and Tank kind of go in the same category.
Really? You don't consider the old Filipino guy he blazed and being undisputed at 2 weight classes?
I like Donaire. Donaire was one of my favorite fighters. I know you don't like him, but I do like Donaire. I do think Donaire was probably a Hall of Famer. I think he is a Hall of Famer. So for him to knock him out, but it's the end. You know,
Okay.
He did the Fulton great win. I'm not sure if Fulton was a great, but we're starting to see him level out. If he continues the success, yeah, he could definitely. He's on the list. I'm just putting him lower than Tank and Usyk, and get fucking Canelo out of here. Get Canelo.
No, man, he's still top 5. It's a tie between Canelo. To me, it's a tie between Canelo, Tank, and Benavidez, and for the 5th spot.
Benavidez already skips him because of the fact that Benavidez is the one out there trying to get these fights, and he is avoiding him like the plague. There was an article that I read that said that he would be open to fighting Crawford right now. Like,
yes.
That's I'm just annoyed with this guy. What are you doing? Like I'm just annoyed. Take him out of here. Mangia, I'm done. Nah, I don't even want to waste prep on him. I'm so annoyed. I can't even get my thoughts together with this guy, man. Nah, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
How you gonna put him on the pound for pound list and he doesn't fight any other guys on the pound for pound list? None of them. None of the top guys. Nah.
I mean, he has before, which only 2.
Yeah, but that's the past. Your legacy doesn't lead you to being pound for pound now. Yeah, you were a pound for pound great. The fuck? Michael Jordan was a great when he played for the Bulls. You don't still consider him a great when he was on the Wizards, even though he could still drop 30 sometimes. Same thing with like LeBron. Fuck out of here. Them old dudes are not. No, you're off the list.
Canelo's not old, man. Canelo's only 33, and it's crazy because Crawford is 37, and he's pound for pound number 1 to me, and by many.
Crawford's been dying to get fights. Dying. He's been crossing streets, going down the block. He's looking for people to fight.
Yeah.
Canelo goes, I'll fight anyone. But him, not him. Get him the fuck out of my press conference. What the fuck? Who does that? Yo, I'll fight anyone. Here's the contract. Oh no, I'm not doing that. Yo, how you send a guy a contract? He goes, I'll accept it. He goes, no, give me that shit back. Give me that back. What the fuck? Yo, imagine playing Uno one-on-one with a guy. You throw down a draw 4, color blue, and he throws down a draw 4 on you, and you, let me get my card back. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? You can't do that. And man. Nah. Anyway, you want to say anything for Father's Day, man?
Hey, man, happy Father's Day to all the good fathers, you know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of piece of shit guys out there.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day to all the good fathers. But to be on my red pill shit, we give life. We give life. We do. We do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if we 80, if we could get it up, somebody getting pregnant.